It's here. It's now. It's Wine Talks with Paul K.
Hey, welcome to Wine Talks with Paul K. And we are at a serious away game out in the heart of Tuscany, Italy. About to have a conversation with Alberto Moretti Cuseri of the Sette Ponti winery. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning. How are you today?
Great, good to have you here. Hey, listen, guys, to the episode with Mel Masters, one of the great negociants of our time, recently passed, and I had a recording with him about a year ago. It was an incredible conversation. You can learn all about importing wines, exporting wines, and negociant wines. Fabulous conversation. Have a listen for that. But now while we're out here. You know, tell me again the district we're in, Alberto. What district are we in?
Where we are located, center of Tuscany, starting with a beautiful city like Florence. We can say that it's south from Florence, 50 minutes by car.
Oh,
On this beautiful Arno Valley. Arno is our famous river that starts not so far from here and passing on the mountain and passing very close to us, going to Florence and then Pisa and then water sea on after Pisa. Your familiar area, just
Yes.
if we turn from where we are, looking the camera, we look on the right and we make like 10 miles in the air and you are in Chianti Classico.
Oh, very close. All right. And so the Sette Ponti is part of the family, but we were mentioning when we were walking to the house that there is 3 or 4 other wineries, 2 in Sicily. Where's the other?
Three are here in Tuscany and 2 in Sicily. Yeah, yes, very beautiful. Even Sicily, because one is in the Etna now.
And this
Very
is a
interesting.
family thing.
Yeah.
You,
Family thing is that was my grandfather.
your grandfather.
1951, he purchased this property here. And from 1951, my father get on this wine business. Let's say the first vintage was 1998.
Wow, that's isn't that young for
Yeah,
Tuscany?
really, in one way, we can say yes,
Yes.
really young. Some people say that he made too much good things in the so short
That's
time.
true.
So he asked,
That's
what
true.
was the recipe?
Yeah.
So we are lucky that we have a good father.
So that's interesting, though. He's part of time where wine was not, at least worldwide, as popular as it is today. He had the desire to do this because this is a lot of work.
Super strong desire, super focus in say, I really pretend to make top quality wine. So nothing. If you have to choose every morning, one day, one street or the other, he always think at the street of the quality or the road of the quality, no matter what. If it's a cork for the bottle or if it's something to do on the vine. And this was his approach, talking with the top people in the world to have the best feedback to increase all these points. And this, it makes him having success. Plus, never stopping to try to increase and to judge himself and to see if it's possible to achieve another step.
So if his first vintage was 1998, but he, what's 5 years to start your first leaf in order that you can make wine? That was his first bottling in 1998?
All right, let's one little step behind.
Yeah, let's go backwards.
To check. Yeah, my grandfather Alberto here purchased in 1951.
Wow.
This Tenuta Sette Ponti, the part that he gets from these 2 sisters, Savoia sisters, that was like part of the royal family, and was an architect, so loving to develop buildings and house, and he chose this area, especially this central area where these hills around us are super well located and with a fantastic position. After, we discovered that inside we have this 3-hectare vine that was planted in 1935 from the royal family. It was the oldest of all the property. So even the grandfather did well. Our one grandfather...
But that was an accident.
Let's say 50-50. Let's say 50-50. But he was more like focused on the beauty of the country. I tell you, he was in love for olive oil. He was in love for foods, for cooking. He was in love for, obviously, wine. In wine, he was more like in a Chianti, classic Chianti wine, without something special, involving him. Like, for him, it was like more respectful of the love of the country and more things to get, even hunting. So he also went to maybe catch the mushroom in the period of the mushroom. So it was a love of everything, including the wine.
Wow.
My father completely said, no, I want really to focus on making super great wine, super high quality. First of all, let's check if we can make that. He started to make some research of the soil, of like climate condition, like how we are located. It's very good because we are in this like open part of valley, huge, quite not too high, but not too low, with this part of mountain behind, just behind the round house, that this is very important to help, especially in a period of spring and summer, to keep fresh and not humid grapes. That is very important.
Yes.
Very important. So, we are very lucky on the climate condition, and this is so important. Plus the soil, it's amazing.
Which you would define as terroir, right? That's
the famous terroir.
Right, the famous terroir.
And now everybody will use this beautiful word because...
Is there an Italian word for that?
That expression. Qualità del suolo, del territorio.
Yeah, okay.
It could be similar if we want to translate, yeah.
So I have this philosophy that terroir, yes, we're looking at beautiful terroir. You've got the temperature, natural temperature control, humidity's low. But what about this passion your grandfather had to start this and then your father's passion to continue it? Isn't that part of the terroir?
For sure, it's involved of what this story of this terroir gave to them, for sure. Because when my grandfather started with Chianti, that was Sangiovese, but in the same time was also some Trebbiano, because we used to put some Trebbiano, historical Trebbiano is a white grape.
That's right.
And today we make a single vineyard also of this old Trebbiano. So some part that was at the start, today we emphasize it even more. We try to give as much as value as possible. No, we didn't want to change.
No.
We just want to improve.
But they changed that rule, I don't know how many years ago, that you could put Trebbiano in a Chianti as a blended grape, but not anymore, right?
Not anymore. At the time it was yes.
And it's just Sangiovese or?
Sangiovese and some, you have 75%. And then after you have a 15% that you can split or divide with.
Whatever.
Colorino. They use also Colorino sometimes. Colorino means coloring. So it was a grape that helps to give a nice color to the wine. So you have maybe Sangiovese with espresso of Sangiovese. They put some Colorino. They put some other, before was Trebbiano, no anymore. Before they also have Malvasia, some Malvasia.
Really?
Another wine. But just in a more
So why did they change that, you think? Was because Chianti back in the day, I'm going to say, let's say 1951, was a fiasco.
Also fiasco.
A cheap wine, that hung in the restaurants. Were they trying to increase quality worldwide?
I have to say that was very reasonable, cheap price. And the quality, you know what? At that time, the quality was like, if the wine is good, they get all the production that they make. So it was like more lighter, was like more an easy wine. When we change, even here at the start, they saw that so much selection, especially in the green harvest, because 20 years ago, 30 years ago was different already, even than today, the weather condition, the famous like global warming.
The famous global warming.
the very now.
We're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah, sure. Everybody
Everyone's
would like to understand as much as possible about
Of
this
course.
is normal.
So, because the reason I brought the timing up, if his first vintage, I'm going back to the 1998, and now we're at 2023, that's not a long time to be worldwide as you are with the quality that you have, and we've tasted the wines in Los Angeles. That's hard to do because you only get one chance a year, right, to make it better. And so here you are now worldwide with brands, with co-brand being a huge supplier, and then the big distributors in Los Angeles. Was that a goal, or was that just sort of it happened because we're making great wines?
Probably it came together. I mean, my father achieved lot of points to get to this point of quality.
Yes.
But we also probably were lucky because when he started Prep Soreno, 1999 first vintage, the vintage 2001, so after the third vintage, we were number 10 of the first 100 of Wine Spectator lists.
Wow. Okay, that's
so I think that this changed in a very, 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 very good way our let's say wine life.
Yes.
For sure, this was very helpful also with co-brand to take care of us.
But you have to make a lot of wine, and this is from all your properties, to get distribution through somebody like co-brand. I mean, that's just a great accolade. He wasn't chasing points.
Mm-hmm.
Was he chasing the spectator, the wine enthusiast, tasting panel, all that? He was just wanted to make good wine.
All right, we try to make a very good wine, and then we push hard to try that if they can understand our story and try the wine. And probably it was a right wine at the right moment. What I mean was a Super Tuscany in a moment that Super Tuscany was not so many like today. Was done in a terroir that was fantastic, with a fantastic help of a good team, including obviously Carlo Ferrini, that at that time was him, the wine consulting winemaker.
Mm-hmm.
So all these points together was very helpful. It was a good time at the moment. But in 2003, was number 5 of Wine Spectator. So this was confirmed.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, you found the right place, the right vintages, to do the right work. But that's, you can make a lot of mistakes doing this, and you were very conscientious about making it work.
And even give you an example, like if you ask me about this, we also in these 20 years, my father changed obviously a little bit the style of the wine. Like at that time, were more like also oak, because we used to create wine that have to also to thinking that for keeping for so long, we need also to age in a strong way or very deep way in oaking in a barrel for like longer, but not even the longer, because longer depends how is the barrel. We can keep long, but depends how is the condition of the barrel. But
that's
new
right.
barrel for a long time, especially small barrel like Barrique, French, they release a lot.
So he doesn't, and I'm going through this right now in the Armenian, and I'm helping the industry, and they insist on oaking up. I don't think a grape that likes oak very much, but you found out that too much oak actually, in an attempt to make a long-lived wine, is...
We came from, like family before came more from fashion world, fashion business. And we can talk about like fashion can change completely, maybe every season. Wine, they don't change, don't change the quality, but sometimes certain style and even the palate of the people, like in the food, in the kitchen, it was changed so much. If we think in the last 30 years, like we didn't have fusion. Today we eat fusion everywhere, not just in LA because you were the first.
Yes, that's right. We were the first.
You go to the restaurant, you have a mix of a fusion mix that is fantastic and everybody will love.
You're right. That's a good point.
If we retook this on the wine world, let's say that even because United States was one that they really like, especially also the producer from United States, and even them, in the last 10 years, they reduced the quantity of oak. No?
Yeah.
And I think also that this is because more people start to come in the wine world and more producers start to achieve higher quality of make wine. So what is my goal and what is your goal? My goal is that if you drink my wine here, you have to feel this soil. You have to feel that comes from a certain area of Tuscany. Maybe you say, oh, wow, but how I can know all the Tuscany area? It doesn't matter. But at least if I try wine that comes from Spain, there is a Terminillo, or wine that comes from a cab that comes from United States, have other like taste and palate, and the one that comes from here have to be a different Cabernet for the soil, for the climate condition, for all these things. So this we incentivate because it's good to give a different kind of quality of wine.
So isn't that the goal? Isn't that the goal is to represent this and not, and I was looking at the markets. We went to Conad. We went to Conad, bought some wine. And, in America, when you walk down the wine aisle, it's the same aisle in every store. And it's the same style. You don't get to experience this, but your goal, and it should be the goal, is to represent what we're looking at right now.
Completely.
Every vintage is trying to do that.
Completely. And I will tell you even more that we are a team that work with my father on the wine. So agronomist, winemaker, all the team that work all together. And for each different property, we have obviously a different kind of wine, different kind of moment. An example, Merlot here, we harvest like around 10, 15 September. The Merlot that we have in Bulgaria, that is close to the sea, like 2 hours from here by car, close to the sea, we harvest minimum 10 to 2 weeks before. Other soil, earlier. Other soil, other condition, other climate condition, and we have to anticipate. We cannot say, okay, now we do Merlot wherever we are. No, totally different.
You're using bricks or phenolic, combination of both as to decide?
Yep. But since like now all the vintage already certificate 2020, we are all organic system.
Oh, certified bio?
Bio. Yes, in Italian we say bio, but otherwise we say organic.
Organic.
Yes.
But with the green leaf and everything?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, why did you do that? I mean, wouldn't you do that anyway, but why did you do it? For the marketing?
Marketing helps a lot, but we also believe that it's good as much as possible, especially in our society, if we can today make great wine using products, yes. But products that have to be organic, and at least you keep the top quality of, like we try if we can find to buy maybe organic food, in the same why we cannot try to have quite good quality organic wine.
Biodynamic, is that the next step or no?
Biodynamic. In terms of the quality, if we are organic, you guarantee the quality that the wine is super healthy. Biodynamic, we would like to do for some certain way because it's kind of complication, especially in Italy because a lot of law and stuff to make, okay? But the problem is that if we want to do a biodynamic one vineyard that we would like to make, especially with the old one, we have to do for all the one, all. And this maybe became a little bit more complicated. Let's see for the future. At the moment is no, but it's not even yes. So
I don't know if there's any value marketing-wise. Organic, I think, has value. I think organic is more important just for the profile of the wine and the fact that, look, why would you want to play with it with chemicals? You probably don't want to do that.
Except if it's something, because we also have some chemical, but it's a chemical that can stay in organic because it doesn't hurt your body.
Right. So with that.
With that, for sure, we will keep that.
We have in Napa, for instance, they're going to harvest a month later than they did last year. So here with this global climate change, not a political show, right? We're just talking about the temperature change. But Napa's a month late, so it's not affected them this year. Have you had to move back or move up your harvest in the last 5 to 10 years because of the climate change, or it hasn't affected Tuscany that much?
A little bit, yes. It's a little bit more warm, yes. At the same time, probably in the last 20 years, we really little bit anticipate, let's say, medium average 1 week.
1 week. So
if we have to give you a medium of like this 20 years, probably in the end, 1 week, 10 days, we went independent vintage. Last year, we finished on the first week of October, usually. And this was when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
But was last year, so
You're still young,
was the same.
by the way.
Thank you. You
Okay,
too.
so
Thank you. I was baby.
Oh yeah. Well, so were you in the vineyard as a child?
Genius P. Yeah, I used to go sometimes, yes, to see and to harvest a little, stay with the people. Yeah.
Good boy.
Today, I love that. But you know what? Like traveling a lot. Maybe sometimes, obviously, when we are here, we go, let's see, we stay behind. It's nice always. You got to check how it's going.
So you're export manager for the family, for the winery, for all the wineries, right?
For the family wine.
Okay. And so you go to the U.S., Asia, Europe, wherever you go. How many countries are you in?
Really, today we export between even over than 40 countries, almost 50 countries in the world.
Wow.
Even in Vietnam or Philippines.
Really? Wow. So how do you do that? I mean, how do you get, you said it earlier, you said, we want people to know our story, which is what wine is about. It's about the story, right?
Yeah.
In fact, our guests here, we have a crowd today. We went and saw my friend. We went and saw my friend Valentino Valentini in Montefalco yesterday. And a lot of the comments when we left were, wow, it was great to hear that story. Like there's something about the story. And that's what differentiates you all over the world when you go to these locations to tell your story. How's it received? How's it received in America versus, let's say, Asia? Do they want to hear the story in Asia?
No, yeah. I mean, depends, obviously, how people is involved and passionate on the wine. Generally speaking, everybody, I mean, if you walk in this world and they like how with you on that business, they like to understand the story and they like to understand what come and how it come for this wine and for this property, for which family. So yes, I would say yes.
Yes.
Then I can tell you that maybe the difference sometimes is that there is people that have less palate, less understanding, and there is people that have more palate and understanding more. This maybe yes. But like, I'm sorry, but it's like, there is new culture that for them, like for China, they start to love in passion, but at the moment they are creating the value and the love for the wine. So they are new in this world. At the same time, Vietnam people are like so impassioned and they understand already a lot. And it's just, I mean, we are almost in Asia. Okay, Asia is big. So it's like if we talk about Europe and maybe we go to the north of Europe, sometimes we have situation where certain people are more interested like in quantity of drinking than quality of drinking. So,
however, we know that COVID did produce better wine drinkers. In my business, which was all shipping to the consumer across the United States, they increased the quality of the wine they drank. And I didn't sell expensive wine, but during COVID, I sold a lot of expensive wine because they had the money to do it, and I was happy with that because that meant they're elevating their palates a little bit more. They're starting to understand a little bit better. And I think what you said, certainly China is at a different part of their palate than they used to be 10 years ago. It used to be all sugar, all Napa Valley, all Bordeaux, and now they're starting to learn there's some better things. So other countries like Japan, a little further along, right? They taste they like better wines? How about the U.S.? Where are they at?
And number one in everything. I know because you are, but yes, because if you think that...
Yes, we are number one in everything. That's right.
But no, because Brunello became famous through United States.
Yeah.
And we are in Tuscan. They know and they start to buy Chianti since when we start to export. So let's say that for the wine, the market of US is still the number one. I think even for the number of Prosecco is a strong brand now. Even United States, they export like huge quantity. So even in there,
thanks to Gallo and La Marca.
It makes number, right?
Yeah, it's just numbers. That's why.
With a nice bottle, by the way. Yes. It looks like Tiffany, with this azure.
That's color. Right. It looks like the Tiffany color. You're right.
Very smart marketing also. But there you can see that you have different kind of level, and also we can have like two level of what, like you have a huge story and like trend in the spirits, especially today because there is this like new trend of tequila and mezcal that's super trendy. And in Italy, we still are baby because it's just starting. We are still all in gin world, to give an example.
Yes.
So this is what I mean. You are like in advance on what will be the new trend.
That's true.
The new trend, now we are still in gin. Vodka, obviously, was already for everybody. Before was gin, today everybody's like more tequila and mezcal. Here, we are just starting there. For you, is already at the top. I mean, everybody's drinking. If they don't drink, you go out, nice restaurant, nice place. If they don't have wine, they are all in that world.
I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know how.
I think it's more people that are more involved in the party time. So like,
I suppose
you have to go in like more clubbing or stuff like this.
But don't you have a romantic view of this? Because wine is extraordinarily old. We already know it's about 6,000 years old in Armenia, but even older than that in other parts of the world. That eventually, every generation learns of a bottle of wine like yours that speaks of its terroir, it speaks of its history, and it has a romantic approach in your life. Other than, let's talk about canned wines for a second. How can you experience terroir from a canned wine?
I agree because for our culture, I have to tell you something that you're gonna laugh. I bought 2 cans of this cab from United States that I get in my life.
You bought it right
from 2 days ago, and now I will make this by like playing a surprise, like blind taste, and I'm gonna give to my father and some other people on the next few days. And I have to tell you, and they make for me what this cab quite like I thought was like a kind of Pinot Noir, like little light, and I said, wow, it's not bad. So obviously, normal wine value. Then we open another. This guy buy some other stuff, and then open another white wine in a bottle that was amazing, and that was perhaps was horrible. So sometimes it's true that the packaging can change our like idea of the quality or not, but in the same time, depend also for what at which level.
That's very important. Okay,
because even in Italy, we have the producer number one is in not even in Cayman, but in Domopac, yes, but like where we put milk.
Right, a Tetra Pak. Yeah.
Tetra Pak. Sorry, it doesn't come in the name.
That's right.
Tetra Pak. That is the international word. So this depends for what. If we have like here, 1 person 0.5 that make 1 hectare, doing all the process by hand. I have to tell you my story and put in a bottle that you can feel how much is the work behind this.
Good. That's a great point.
So this is how came things like you produce the wine, you make all by hand. So it's obviously that you have to feel in everything that you make, even if you don't talk this experience that is around. Then plus, obviously, you have to tell them how you make this. So obviously with the Tetra Pak, it's the images that you're gonna sell is the same, without story. But
I've interviewed a lot of women and men that are trying to create new segments in the wine business around the package, not around the wine, right? And so, and I've tasted a lot of canned wines that are like really bad, and they're on the shelf. People are buying them. I don't know, what, for the 14% alcohol maybe? But it's certainly not for the wine that's in the can, which is what we want to sell.
I will retry this can again because it was not so bad. So I want to be open on this. Even for us, it's like if you say, oh my God, but because probably it's a different strategy for a different company.
Well, that's it. But it's not an excuse, and I'll tell you two things.
We cannot make this wine in a cane because we
course
take
not.
value down.
Right.
Except we don't do a cane in gold. So you say, okay, you have a gold cane that is so much expensive because the wine inside, it's for gold. So even there depends in which sense. But obviously, if we think for like a cane, everybody, I think we think about Coca-Cola, no?
Well, okay, I have a conversation coming up with a Cornell University professor whose job it is to create the lining of the can for wine to last 24 months. So it's only good for 6 to 8 months now. Doesn't that bother you? I mean, it bothers me that there's a wine on the shelf that somebody opens when we know that the food lining is no longer any good. And his argument is, and it's going to be when he comes on the show, is the carbon footprint of a can is considerably less than a bottle. But you can't age a wine in a can because it only lasts 24 months. So, and I'll tell you, I did taste a couple of years ago, before COVID, I found 5 canned wines. Appellated, vintaged, varietal. Cabernet in a can from Lodi, Monterey Pinot Noir, Pinot Grigio from Friuli, and a sparkler from somewhere, I forgot. You know, they were, if you did the blind test.
You say, okay, it's good. I mean, simple wine.
Simple wine.
Simple wine.
But it's not on your radar to change the packaging.
Not in this case.
Yeah.
Even that, we will, for the future, we already started doing, and we keep just for few, we also have to reduce the weight of the bottle.
Yes.
To be more like eco-sustainable.
They're making them thinner.
Even if our producer of bottle, they, they use all the glass that is 100%, I mean, probably not 100, no, but maybe between 85 to 95, depends the year, that he make from a recycle.
Really?
So it's already very sustainable.
Yeah, that's sustainable. Is that important
But this
here?
producer, because maybe he's an intelligent guy, he find his way to make that. Okay, the bottle is expensive because we use important bottle for important wine.
Yes.
Even in terms of weight.
Yeah, I was a shipper. I shipped wine for a living. That's what I did every day.
Okay.
I didn't like the heavy bottle. It cost more money. Right? 5 pounds versus 3 pounds. It cost me more money to ship that bottle. It used to bother me. Sustainability of all the industries that we could be involved with, whether it's wine or whatever, widgets or semiconductors, sustainability seems to me to be one of the most important factors for a winery. Why wouldn't we want to be sustainable, and how do we do that? Recycling water, using recycled glass.
With recycled glass, we don't have make. If you see around the property, we have 300 hectares, we have 60.
300 hectares.
300 hectares, all the property, 300.
Planted.
No, 300 hectares is our property. But just, at the moment, is just 60. So even if we go to 100, the other part is divided between trees, between bushes, so big bush around, and this helps the sustainability because you don't make nothing that is so intense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I do like less than 1/4 and 2/4 is still pure land to keep like, how is the situation? I mean, and it's very helpful that maybe we have vine and then we have some olive tree just behind, and then we have bush here. All of this is also very helpful for the quality of the wine. Instead, if we take out everything, we make like 300 hectares of just vine.
Mm-hmm.
This is not our sustainability. So even this. Plus, we use 3 lakes around that we have. Okay, we don't give water except if we really need. Sometimes that we can, in some, but usually we don't use. But we use for keep all around green and all this stuff. So we have this that we can.
So you can water in Chianti?
Chianti we cannot water.
You cannot water.
But we can water the EGT or the Super Tuscan. We can water if we want.
But you don't. Typically, you don't, not unless you need to.
Except if, like, we know, and they say that it's a bad, like very very dry year. Yes, otherwise no.
I mean, it's good, right? It's better for the vines to go down and find the water and change the terroir and all that. So, how many different from this property? How many different ones?
Very small tractor, as much as possible with the work by hand. I give you an example.
Are you harvesting by hand now?
All by hand we harvest.
Wow.
All by hand. Okay. Small tractor passing by, and they carry the case with a grape inside, and that's it. But no machine works. No touching with the machine on the vine. All is done by hand. All the works. And when they harvest all by hand. Green harvest, they cut them, make a selection, all by hand. No one work is done with a machine. 1 person, 0.5 for 1 hectare. Prosecco, 1 person make 10 hectares.
Really?
1.5, 10.
That's expensive.
By hand.
I mean, that's expensive.
Also expensive,
right?
Yes. Yes.
And it's happening right now, harvest?
Yes, also yes.
Are they out there? Can we talk to them?
Sure.
We said, no.
Yeah. After with Fabiana, you will see. We'll show you all around. Yeah, sure.
That's cool. So, plans in the future of testing varietals. You make a Super Tuscan. Are we playing with unusual varietals, finding new grapes? Italy has 2,000 wine grapes or some crazy number. Are we testing? You have test plots that you're for either grapes or
let's say that since we start, was very clear the strategy here. Okay, where we are, center of Tuscany, Sangiovese. Okay, perfect. So Sangiovese, and what we have all the 3 hectares of Vigna dell'Impero that was planted from the royal family, like we said, in 1935. So starting from this, we recreate some clone, and we continue to have this old, our style of this, our terroir that stay here. And with that, we replant the new Sangiovese, the new. Minimum average is 20 years. So it's not really new. It's on the very good moment, perhaps even more, between 15 to 25 years. So in one side, the strategy was very clear with the Sangiovese. On the other hand, thanks to what happened on the last 20 years, and thanks to Oreno, we have a Bordeaux blend that comes in Sette Ponti. So it was 2 different levels of wine. One in the international variety arrive after, and first we start with our origin that was Sangiovese. In this, yes, he planned now some Cabernet Franc.
Wow.
Because so they can come fantastic. But obviously we already have from more than 20 here, we have a fantastic Merlot. 7 different areas where we have Merlot. We have Cab Sauvignon, it's many here. We have Petit Verdot, because these grape are inside of Oreno. So this is already starting. But obviously we train. We re-increase another variety that is from here, that is the famous white that we were talking before. Oh my God.
Very famous.
Vermentino. No, Vermentino is...
Malvasia.
No, the other one.
Trebbiano.
Sorry. Oh, God. We have all the Trebbiano vine inside of the Vine dell'Impero, and we keep it also this, and we make a small production of 100% Trebbiano.
It's fascinating. It looks like Fabiano wants us to wrap up.
Probably he came here to keep you and take you for doing the tour before the wine tasting. Probably
we appreciate the time today to show us around to taste some wines and to have a conversation with you. And I hope when you come to LA again, that we have a chance to show you around and maybe we'll have co-brand take us around and, buy us lunch or something.
We go
Yeah.
by house. We
Right,
go
okay.
ahead. No, we also can call. Obviously, they are fantastic always. And really, I really fell in love. And I really would like to go next time, maybe also to see some of the producer in Napa, because
It's great.
interesting. Napa, Sonoma, I mean, all are super.
Well, they're going through a change too. It's very expensive. The land's very expensive. The planting is very expensive. They've built these giant chateaux, and wines are $150 to $300 a bottle, and that marketplace has changed considerably.
Okay, this is something that I saw that the American wine jump up. I mean, with the price very high. This depends because all the costs increase so much.
Yeah, the minimum, if you wanted to start today, I think planted land in the best part of Napa is $1 million an acre.
An acre.
Yeah, right.
$8 million.
And then
So you start already that
You're
you
already in
have
the
to
hole.
have a high price.
yeah, you're already in the hole. And you already know this. It's very hard to make money in our industry, whether you're manufacturing or producing, or whether you're just vending it or selling it. The margins aren't that great, and you have to go all over the world and show people your wine. There was a conversation that happened in the 20s or 30s in Burgundy, and one of the winemakers said, we should not allow ourselves, as an appellation rule, to advertise, because we should make such good wine that people come to us and want them. It's obviously very unrealistic in our industry, but it always leads my mind to wonder what would happen if that was the case. What if it was just about the wine, not about the package, not about the glass, not about the story, nothing. Well, the story's important, but not about the packaging, and not about using co-brand, not about using RNDC or Southern Wines and Spirits, but strictly about what's in the bottle. Would it be different? Would you be able to tell your story better? Would it be more accessible for people? Less accessible? It's a tough question, I know.
It's a tough question because, the world is changing completely in the other side. So making something like this depends also where you are located. I know that perhaps in Napa, many clients go directly to the winery. They buy directly, like if it's like a store, and this is you have like direct access. If you think like in Bordeaux, you cannot buy one bottle from the winery because it's the négociant that is
Really
there.
good point,
So
yeah.
it's already completely different world.
That's a really
We
good
are
point.
a little bit probably in the middle.
Yeah.
Perhaps if we compare like California or Napa with like Bordeaux sales and maybe Italian. But the point is that I think it's quite complicated today because such big competition from the world and old world try to make good wine in different places. You see, even Argentina make beautiful wine, Chile, Australia, New Zealand. How many? United States, we already talked about this. We are good here. French, obviously, French since always now. The first, probably. Spain today is coming up with many other
Big
good
stuff.
wine.
Yeah.
East of Europe.
Yeah. Armenia, the Caucasus,
Armenia.
Georgia, Slovenia. Amazing, huh? Boy,
So-
you have a hard job. Yeah,
We have a job. And for what I see, when you go also with this group, you go there and you see that they arrive and they have a book higher than this,
Yeah.
full of reference of wine. So it's very hard. And I think that if I could go to each restaurant and make them try my wine and tell my story, for sure I will say
get
that
it.
to anyone. But if they have to go with a book like this, at the end, it's very complicated also that they will sell your wine if it's not famous wine.
You've explained
Because,
that very
yeah,
well. And it's
not
getting
easy.
worse now. We're going to wrap this up right now. But in Los Angeles particular, the small importers, I have wonderful Italian importers that used to call on me. Valerio from Terravino, and great wines. And I have a Friuli only broker wonderful Friuli wine. But they're fighting what you're fighting in this case. Well, you don't have to fight as much because you have RNDC on your side, but the RNDC buys this little wholesaler, and then it goes into the book. And that's the end of the story, right? Unless you get the attention.
It's big because there are many, all in competition.
Yeah, it's all competition.
Many. And many others that after him they go, because maybe arrive RNDC and then they go out and then arrive Southern and then they go out and then arrive.
That's what happened.
Another one. So
it's happening
and
right
then
now.
arrives the small one.
There's no loyalty. You know that, right? There's no loyalty. They change like underwear.
And
anyway,
a lot of competition.
Yes,
a lot of competition.
Well, we wish you luck, and we want to see you when you're in Los Angeles. We're going to wrap this up now. I appreciate the time.
Probably November, probably.
Okay,
so
we're going to be there. Yes, we'll tell Chloe and Sarah. We'll tell Chloe and Sarah about it, and we'll get together.
Sure. No, I love
Alberto,
Sarah. She's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you to be here.
We're happy and lucky to be here.
No, we are lucky that you are here. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Wine Talks with Paul Kalamkarian. Don't forget to subscribe because there's more great interviews on their way. Folks, have a great time out there in the wine world. Cheers.